gamers. We might be here. We might be here. We might be back. So hang on, let's look up the original. Is this still up on YouTube? You guys have seen it. I don't think we're gonna watch the whole thing. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. What I will say though, is I think this video is definitely the dividing line between millennials and Zoomers. In the sense that when I watched this, I was just like, oh yeah, this is like an internet animation, because I grew up on like Newgrounds stuff, right? And Newgrounds stuff was edgy, it was bloody, there was crossovers. This is like the quintessential web comic. Does that make sense? Like to represent the era, I would say, of web animation. But as far as I'm concerned, this was like, there was nothing in this that really like made me go, oh, this is like crazy, you know? This is like crazy stuff. It's a simple Mario is racist, as in he's literally racist instead of, you know, racing. I don't know. That was the joke. That's the joke, the whole video. He brutally kills various characters from various franchises. He also says the N-word, which I don't know if he has a pass for. Can I hear the N-word part? Can I hear it? On. There goes Sackboy as well. But yeah, like, if you ask me, there's like nothing in this that really like makes me go, oh my god. Although, as I said, maybe it's because I watched a lot of like web animations that were really edgy like this when I was a kid, you know? Like, was it Spaz Kids? We had Oni NG, Ego Raptor back in the day. Like, we had was it like Psychic Pebbles to some degree as well. So like a lot of those old animations, like this is a kind of like of that same Hot Diggity Demon. Yeah, like this is like of that same ilk. There's nothing about this that makes me go, Stamper. I can't believe I forgot about Stamper. But there's nothing about this that makes me go, oh, this is like uniquely crazy. So if you personally think that you don't really like this gratuitousness or the swearing, the slurs, I think that's fair enough. But I think it just goes to show, as I said, that this video kind of like the division is dependent on the eras. If you're a millennial who grew up with this shit, fair. If you're like a Zoomer who didn't grow up with this shit and you see this, I can understand you going, what the fuck? This is insane. Why is Mario saying the N-words? Why is he gratuitously killing so many video game franchises? I heard that there's a genre of video that is just people reacting to racist Mario. Oh, no, you see this racist Mario reaction. Oh, there's a genre of video. Again, it's a genre in and of itself. Do you know what I mean? Of all sorts of people reacting to this. So this isn't the first. This won't be the last. Let's see what this guy had to say, which is Blue Shades. What did Blue Shades have to say? Is that the Newgrounds tank? It is the Newgrounds tank. Guys, look at intro. Guys, look at intro. Look at fancy intro. Flash Semba. It's got nothing on Demetra Semba. I'll say it now. I'll say it now, Mr. Blue Shades.
Flash Sember 2021 is about celebrating web animation and Flash-based games. I usually like to keep this segment positive, but I have a bone to pick.
Okay.
As long as I've been doing this channel, I've always wanted to make a video about what I find to be the worst piece of web animation ever.
The worst? Damn.
Enough time has passed since the release of Racist Mario, which means two things. One, I'm able to commentate on its effects on YouTube's animation scene after 7 years of it eating other views for other creators, and two, none of this...
Hang on. Gamers, I think we've reached the faulty premise right off the rip. Listen again, guys. Listen again.
Animation scene after 7 years of it eating other views for other creators. And
eating other views for other creators. I think this is something that a lot of people kind of, I want to say it's a misconception in regards to YouTube. Views are not a zero-sum game. While I understand that obviously videos with more views tend to be pushed by the algorithm or easier to search, generally, especially in the modern day, I think one thing that's amazing about YouTube, and I think you guys will agree, and I think my React segment of my YouTube, my Discord is anything to go by, is that YouTube is very, very, very good at recommending smaller creators now. They're amazing at that sort of thing, because they've shifted their gears from videos that are popular to videos that will appeal to specifically you. So it doesn't matter whether a animation has a billion views, or if it has like 10 views, if YouTube has decided that you like animation, it'll recommend you animations of varying different levels. I know, for example, when I'm on, like, even if, hang on, let's see if I can do a bit of an experiment real quick. Because on Sir Musty, on this channel, I only ever watch the videos that you guys recommend me. I have another channel for my own stuff. So, obviously, I've got a lot of Edwin stuff because of Edwin. But like, you see, because I watch a lot of Mario stuff, look at this video I'm getting recommended to me by Mario Fan 11. top 10 Mario games. You see what I mean? Because they know I'm in the Mario algorithm, they'll recommend me Mario stuff regardless of the numbers. That's something that YouTube is amazing at doing now, and I think it's fantastic. It's a fantastic change they made. So when you say eating up other people's views, like what like already you're coming from a faulty premise, you know? You're already, when was this? 3 years ago? I think they made this algorithm change even 3 years ago as well. So when you say eating other people's views, I think this is just showing that, I don't know, brother. I don't know. You're kind of, is it jealousy maybe? But we'll let you cook.
And 2, none of this matters. I'm spending a lot of time talking about someone else's cartoon because I think it sucks. This already looks extremely petty, but for once I just want to put on the gloves, get in the ring, and just scrap with something.
Just
cool.
really get in there and just beat the crap out of it, you know? But with my mind.
Okay, go on.
Intellectually, I will defeat Flash skits and racist Mario with my mind.
Go for it.
I will intellectually destroy them and make them shit their pants.
Yes.
Great. But before I become a more eloquent and pretentious, mysterious Mr. Enter, let me give you a little
mysterious
story.
Mr. Enter?
I have no ill will towards Flash skits, and I'm, you know, gotta give him credit where it's due.
I'm gonna reiterate this multiple times to the video, but animation, regardless of its quality, takes effort. I'm an animator at a very elementary level. I'm still learning the fundamentals at this point. I'm also exclusively examining this video independent from their other videos. I'll acknowledge this. Flash Gits isn't for me. While I can appreciate sinking the brow to as low as it can get, their version of lowbrow is something I can't really get into myself. But as a fellow creative and quote-unquote animator...
Yeah, Flash Gits just seems like a channel that's like, it's the last bastion of like old school Newgrounds. Does that make sense? Like, look at these titles, bro. Jesus Christ. What was that? Hang on. Harry Potter Special Ed. What was that? Hang on. What was the other one I saw?
Well, I can appreciate sinking the brow to as low as
Paper Mario creates a monster. Titties in the thumb. Jesus Christ.
Get their version of lowbrow is something...
Sonic gets cocked. Oh man, I guess somebody has to make animations that will appeal to 12-year-olds, you know? The Simpsons, but OnlyFans? Tetris gets an anime, giant titties in the thumb. Okay, all right.
Something I can't really get into myself.
Oh,
but as a
man.
fellow creative and quote-unquote animator, I understand that this is all subjective.
Why Black Widow is the best adventure. Titties in the thumbnail again. This is like peak Newgrounds YouTube era, honestly. Fuck, you know.
That being said, I can easily take both of these guys in a fight and kill them with my bare hands. So keep that in mind.
I will.
Rainbow Road, it's where you go.
When you die, it's Rainbow Road.
To say that the animation for Racist Mario leaves something to be desired would be an understatement. What's truly infuriating about the video is that you can't complain about the artistic or technical competency of Flash Gits. They are certainly skilled at their style of animation. It's just that their animation is devoid of any personality. It feels like Flash Gits is trying to translate what we thought our plastic action figures would have looked like in motion in 2D animation. While this style choice is certainly efficient, the clearly static, plug-and-play assets of the characters don't lend itself to the comedy. The sequence from 1 minute and 20 seconds to 1 minute and 35 seconds shows how sterile the expressions on Mario's face are.
23 years of jumping of barrels. 23 fucking years!
While this is just a nitpick, I think this issue is...
I think it's relatively fine. I kind of get what you're talking about, but I don't know. I think it is a nitpick. I classify this as a nitpick.
Indicative of a larger issue of Racist Mario being too produced. This is borderline professional animation. Everything is clear, you know what's going on, adequate framing, etc. While I'm sure that this is just a showcase for Flash Gits and their professional acumen, there is absolutely nothing intimate or imaginative about it. The charm of animated video game
Hang on, I'll let you finish.
Parodies from years prior, animations such as the Awesome series, was that they were created out of passion for something by one person. The animation in these videos were never the best, but that didn't matter considering there was a sense of intimacy with it. It wasn't professionally produced, and you could relate the amateurism of the creator. Amateurism isn't often seriously examined because we tend to look at it the wrong way. Amateurism is often seen as less than professional. The term often evokes...
I do kind of get what he's meaning about this. I would say, yeah, Flash Gits definitely doesn't have that same homey feels that, say, for example, the the you know, the awesome series that Ego Raptor did, right? But does it necessarily have to harken back to the era like every time? Like, does it necessarily, like, I think times change sort of thing. That's kind of what I would say. Like, also, when was this? It was made in what, 20? I think it said 10 years old, right? So it was what, 2015? Which I would say, like, definitely was like toward. That's when animation was getting better as a whole, you know? Like this whole bit feels like I like it when my animations are scrunkly bunkly bunklies as opposed to popular McJRPG guys, you know? Which is a fine preference to have, but.
Criticism in many works is often pointed at the technical competency through the lens of professional.
What does he mean by the intimacy of the awesome series, Taylor? Sometimes I wonder if you're watching, Taylor. Put your listening ears on, okay? The awesome series was obviously just made by one guy in his bedroom, whereas Flash Gits' one is obviously made by a team of people. That's obviously what he means. Keep on with the rest of the class!
But amateurism can not only be charming, but usually helps us to understand how to interact with certain types of media, not to mention how to make something ourselves. The amateurism...
It's just a weird word to use. It's a normal word to use, Taylor. You know what? 5 minutes. 5 minutes of animation school. Okay, I've had enough of you.
These animations evoke love and passion from the creators, which is often translated well to audiences. The crude lines and expressions from Ego Raptor gave his work a sense of freedom and imagination that racist Mario doesn't even have a crumb of. This sentiment from the experimental filmmaker Maya Diran sheds light on the virtues of...
It wouldn't be a video essay without referencing some scrunkly bunkly from years ago.
amateurism. The major obstacle for amateur filmmakers is their own sense of inferiority vis-a-vis professional productions. The very classification amateur has an apologetic ring, but that very word, from the Latin amateur, lover, means one who does something for the love of the thing rather than the economic reasons or necessity. And this is the meaning from which the amateur filmmaker should take his clue. Instead of envying the script and dialogue writers, the trained actors, the elaborate staffs and sets, the enormous production budgets of the professional film, the amateur should make use of the one great advantage which all professionals envy him, namely freedom, both artistic and physical. Improve your films not by adding more equipment and personnel, but by using what you have to its fullest capacity. The most important part of your equipment
is
still
yourself,
going! Your mobile body, your imaginative mind, and your freedom to
listen, I make fun of the whole, ooh, you have to reference a real-life person. But, like, brother, man, like, give us, like, give us, like, a line or two and call it a day, lad. You're giving us the fucking thesis, lad. What are you doing here? Come on, man. Hang on, let me just change the title. What are we doing here? Fucking brevity's the solar wit, brother. That's what fucking Shakespeare or someone said, I don't know.
use both. Make sure you do use them. While these quotes are regarding filmmaking, it applies to animation as well.
Flash Gits are only two people, but I feel like they emulate the stylings of professional animations like Family Guy and other animated sitcoms from that time.
While Family Guy has an excuse to be more efficient with their animation, considering the time constraints and contractual obligations to fulfill content for an entire season through syndication, Flash Gits weren't afforded this luxury. When this video came out, they were still early in their catalog, at least on YouTube. Flash Gits were present on Newgrounds years prior, but their success on YouTube made it their primary platform. They had all the room in the world to get more experimental or expressive with their craft here, but they chose not to.
Well, maybe they don't want it, I don't know, man. Maybe they just don't want it. I don't know, man. Maybe just kind of don't. I don't know, man. Worst webcomic? I don't know, man. I don't know.
The thing is, they were smart with this choice in the end, as it wasn't only just efficient to create, but highly marketable. The less risk-taking, more produced avenue led to a lack of artistic freedom. Interpretations of the characters are as basic as they come, sometimes bordering on just plain ugly. Like I said,
I mean, I think, if anything, that's kind of the point, right? I would argue that's kind of the point, in that they're relatively basic and simple, but the fun of the animations comes from the absolute absurdity of the scenarios that they're in. Like, you wouldn't, like, if you saw this kind of animation style, you might think, oh, it's some, like, YouTube kids, like, ukulele background music sort of thing. But no, it's Mario literally shoving a banana up Donkey Kong's ass and killing him. And, like, Yoshi's getting his fucking eyes glossed with a fucking item box. Like, that's kind of, like, the point. You see this kind of style and go, oh, it's going to be something nice. And you're like, oh, shit. I would argue that's kind of the point. So I wouldn't say, if anything, the juxtaposition is kind of what makes it funny. But I'm not on my hater arc like this guy is,
said before, animation takes effort regardless, but knowing how technically competent these guys are, I can't help but feel like there's more that they could do with this animation. I'm not
maybe they could, but maybe they just don't want to. I don't know, man. Like, you're like, this feels like this feels like concern trolling at its finest. Like, guys, you could be doing so much more. Why are you laughing at me? You guys are just making AI level slop. Why are you guys not doing more? Why are you guys not drawing more crude lines? Guys, no.
A 2D animator by any stretch of the imagination, but I aspire to animate, especially in 3D. It might just depend on the person, but I feel like this...
I feel like this is like a case of... Do you know what this feels like? What's it? Green Gill Man Brad, right? I remember anytime he's in chat, he always gets like, I would say, a little bit more pissed than usual when I'm reacting to someone who like is very much a factory channel. Does that make sense? Someone who like is clearly making like relatively low effort content for the algorithm so they can pay the big bucks. For me, I'm just like, I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, listen, I respect the grind. You know, I don't respect the content, but I respect the grind. For him, he's in his Brad phase where Brad always goes, fuck, this shit gets 1 million views. I'm like, yeah, because I don't know, appeals to the widest band of people, I suppose. That's my mentality. It's not, this is 1 million views, this sucks. Why does this have 1 million and the high quality stuff doesn't? In my head, I'm just like, I guess 1 million people wanted to watch basic level things, you know? Simple. There's like people that watch Mojo unironically, do you know what I mean? It's not because they're high quality, it's just, people just want a bit of garlic bread, you know? People just like eating garlic bread over and over and over again, you know? That's just kind of how it is. Does that make sense? So this guy's in his, but these guys could be doing so much more. And I'm just like, they could, but they're also doing just fine. You know? I get why he wants to riff on this. If you see the same thing over and over again from the same creators that they're trying to improve or do something they're mostly passionate about. I can understand why that's annoying, but I would not use that as my general conceit as to why they've made the worst web animation ever. Does that make sense? I wouldn't use that. For me, I would be a bit, on a creator level, I'd be a bit disappointed, but I wouldn't make this kind of video just for that. Does that make sense? I would use they don't get experimental enough as like 1 point of like 7 as to why something is the worst web animated ever. Maybe it'll come up with more again, but like I wouldn't use this as my silver bullet. Does that make sense? I think it could be a valid point to use. Like for example, Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land is a good example. I would like, if I was to say he's a bad channel, for example, which I don't think, but let's say I was, right? I would mention the fact that he uploads every day and it's low quality like shit, but like that wouldn't be the general conceit of my argument. I'd be like, hey, listen, he's just making like people want to watch it. So what I would then transition that into is, well, people want to watch it, so why is it bad that people want to watch it? To which I might say something like, his analysis is like objectively wrong. He clickbaits like gratuitously. He talks about leaks when people otherwise, you could argue there's an ethical aspect to talking about leaks. Maybe you could make that argument. You see what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I would say, you know? But if I can understand why it annoys you as a creator, 100%. But for me, I'm kind of like over it, you know? I'm kind of like, if people on the internet want to make low quality stuff and get paid the big bucks, I'm less annoyed that they're doing that, but more annoyed that the systems that allow that sort of thing. Ooh, my capitalism. But like, if that's how the system works, and that's how the system works, I can either shit or get off the pot, you know? And I'm gonna shit, guys. I'm gonna shit huge when I hit 10K. That's what we're gonna do. When I hit 10K, gamers, a low quality slop every day. Moresty has forgotten about high quality content, baby. You know? And yeah, if they get big for making this type of parody, then they Then they should try and make something their audience wants to see, but at the same time they get views, so why should they change it? I think this is actually something that unironically Moist Critical talked about. Moist Critical does, it's Odyssey Central. Hey, Odyssey Central, how you doing, man? I love slop content. Yeah, man. Says the Slop King. But what's it? What's the point? Oh yeah, Most Critical talks about this, right? Most Critical does. Hang on. Give me a second. I want to cook all my point. I'll repeat or alert. I promise. No. Wait a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna forget my point. I hate this. But what I'll say is that Most Critical talks, like Most Critical does music. If you guys don't notice, but most people probably don't know that he does music. But that's his passion project. He loves doing music, right? But most of his like biggest videos are just him talking about the blank situation is insane. Am I right? So while I have a lot more respect for creators that'll do that, I won't slight a creator for not doing that, you know, because that's just, they're playing the game and they're winning. You know what I mean? I can't hate on a winner. If I'm gonna hate, I will hate the fact that somebody's playing the game poorly, like to an unbelievable extent. See, most of you guys didn't know that. He makes music. He has an esports team that he sunk so much money into and he's so passionate about. I love it when he does that sort of thing. I'm not really big on his music, admittedly, but like his esports stuff, I love watching Moist esports. It's fucking great, you know what I mean? So I would say that the fact that you guys didn't know is the reason why people like Flash Kids doesn't want to change their approach, you know? That's the reason. So I think I think that kind of is the factor in it. But anyway, let me repeat the alert. Thank you so much.
Can't you just get SpongeBob to do it?
Oh, no, lad. You know the rules, and so do I. Thank you so
I saw a
much.
short in my
Islander
recommendation
Isaac.
that said that she can play GBA games. I clicked on it and I got jump scared by D Meech.
I heard he's been making shorts, so good on him. I hope he ends up killing the shorts algorithm. But no, let's continue.
This video was them intentionally taking the path of least resistance. With all the amazing internet animation that was around at the time, placing racist Mario next to the countless examples of classics really illustrate how drab this video really is, even in hindsight.
It's Rainbow
The road, it's where you go.
When you die, it's
Okay, hang on, chat. Hang on. Hang on. While I think it's a valid thing to point out, if he does point out Mario, a white guy, saying the N-word and going, N-word, bad, I will gift 5 memberships. Valid thing to point out, I will say. But if he does, I will gift 5 memberships.
There's almost no reason to talk about the writing in Racist Mario, as it's completely subjective. It's vulgar, it's provocative.
But he said the line in a bullet. Shut up.
Low brow, and it served Flash Gets very well. But with it almost being a decade old, there's a lot of cringe to examine under the microscope. It's like
I mean, you're not like. I think that's a bit unfair. I mean, I guess you're what's it? Flash Gets his biggest hater, so fair enough. But for me, like, if I was gonna watch something that's really old, like, I'm not gonna be mean to the cringe. I'll laugh at the cringe. I wouldn't be mean to the cringe. Like Zoomsack. Zoomsack is the perfect example, right? The definitive bit. That shit was funny. That was funny as hell, boy. But like, I was never gonna go, oh, that's so cringe. Oh. Because that just feels a bit mean. Does that make sense? Like, that feels a bit mean. Because like, yeah, it was of its era, you know? But either way, you are their biggest hater, so.
The video was written by 12-year-olds wearing screen tees and Steecy skater shoes.
It's
Come on, can't
extremely
even do a
edgy and
click flip.
violent, but not in a way that would be charming years after its release. Its edginess.
I would argue otherwise. I would argue that it is. Mainly, I would argue that the edginess is charming because you do not get shit like this on YouTube anymore. Like, this is like a archaic sort of like style of animation. Most of the time when fan animations happen, they are not this grotesque. Does that make sense? Or like, so even though I would say the style doesn't necessarily harken back to the best of the golden era of like web animation, I would say its humor definitely does harken back to that. It's the same way. I feel the same way about this video as I do about AVGN. You know, like the videos are like, they're very clearly like fucking 20-year-old videos, but like they have a little charm in like how, you know, it was a review, but you rarely get any of the review and get fucking AVGN dressed as Batman and his friend Mike Matei dressed as Joker making stupid little jokes. So like, you know, you don't really get videos like that anymore, and that's where the charm comes from. So I would say that's where the charm of this comes from, if you ask me personally. There's something funny about Mario going into a bullet bill and saying the N-word. All right, I'm gonna be. Hey, listen, if the woke liberals want to cancel me, there's just something a bit funny about it, okay?
This isn't idiosyncratic. It isn't like Hot Diggity Demon, where the mean-spirited joke is from a personality you can distinguish.
here to pass judgment.
Nothing about the writing in
Yeah,
this
but like, okay, yeah. I mean, Hot Diggity. That's why, if anything, that's why I like Hot Diggity Demon better than Flash Kids, because Hot Diggity Demon has that bit of personality about him. You know, that's what I would say. If anything, you're. I suppose he's right. One of my favorite. Hang on. I have to show, on the topic of Hot Diggity Demon, I have to show you my favorite bit. I have to show you my. It's like the fun. Like, this had me howling. This had me howling, chat, when I watched it the first time. What video is it? I think it's the How Goofball Died reel. It was this video. So like, this is just kind of like a filler episode about how his ghost companion Goofball tells like a stupid story about how he died and like what life he had before he became a ghost. I think it's a funny episode. But then there's one part here. I'll show you guys. Hang on. This is.
All right, well, never mind then. Moving on.
There I was, rappelling triumphantly out of the
So he's telling a story about like how he lived as a human, right? So this is the bit.
cockpit of my $700,000 helicopter, and with a single kick of my mighty foot, I collapsed the ceiling of the Oval Office and landed in a brilliant display of magnificent athleticism. Thank you for coming on such short notice, said the president. America needs you, goofball. Not a problem, I replied, the sun shining spectacularly off my beautiful ebony skin. I knew the situation was bound to be of the utmost importance.
Whoa. You're black?
Yeah.
You're not black.
Yeah, I am. What, you think just because I'm a white ghost, that must mean I'm the ghost of a white guy? Do you think when black people die, they turn into black ghosts?
I never thought about it personally, but now that you've put that idea in my head, I don't know actually.
I suppose
Do I become a black ghost when I die,
considered
chat?
it before. But I mean, you don't have a
what?
a black voice.
Oh, a black voice? And what, pray tell, is a black voice to you? What do black people sound like? Can you do an
Yeah,
impression?
well, go on, do an impression, hot diggity. Do it. Do an impression, Max.
of a black
Do an impression.
voice? You know what? Let me get a chair. Let me get a fucking ghost chair. Because oh boy, do I gotta hear this. I gotta sit down for this. Because oh boy, is this gonna be good. So let's hear it. Let's hear what you think black people sound like.
Come on in.
I'd like to rescind my comment.
What was that?
I said I rescind my comment. Can you please just keep going?
Oh, I could not stop cracking up when I heard that. I'm just like, because like I've heard that throughout my life sometimes. You don't sound black, Moresty. I'm like, I've always thought it was nice that the ghost thing said the thing that I've said my entire life. Do you know what I mean? Because like people sometimes think, Moresty, you don't sound black. I'm like, what do black people sound to you? Go on, say it. Tell me, what do black people sound like to you? It's so good, honestly. It's so fucking good. I love Hot Diggity Demon. But anyway, sorry, brief tangent, Mr. Blue Shades. Continue.
Gives me an insight into what the creators
Just go.
are... Nothing about the writing in this gives me an insight into what the creators are actually like. Each joke feels like it was approved by a boardroom committee to maximize the reaction from the viewer.
Compare it to something like Ego Raptor's Awesome series. Its chaotic pace and frenetic energy give it a distinguishable personality. If you were to strip the animation and voices away while leaving its writing and pace intact, it would still be undoubtedly Ego Raptor. Jokes like I never had a brother, followed by Mario murdering Luigi, are so obnoxiously safe and generic that it paints all other video game parodies in the same light. I'll reiterate this again, but video game parodies aren't high art. Even analyzing this video to the extent is laughable, but if we take the video game out of video game parodies for a minute, we're left with examining situational humor in general. Situational humor is often used as a vehicle for commentary. Take George Carlin, for example. The reason
Oh, good lord.
he's heralded as one of the greatest comedians is due to his poignancy in his observations. His comedy wasn't just to make people laugh, but to stimulate us intellectually.
Yeah,
This isn't
stimulate
even
us
about his political
intellectually.
views either. It's easy to write
No
comedy
politics here,
about
gamers.
politics because it will always provoke some response out of people. One of the most impressive feats George accomplished in his career was examining our everyday language and colloquialisms.
Yeah,
In one of his most
true.
famous stand-up routines, he highlights the absurdity around the phrase
Oh, the words that you can get past the censors. Are we talking about that a bit?
"have a nice day" in excruciating detail.
Oh no, not that bit. Okay.
Everybody wants me to have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
While we obviously say "have a nice day" to be polite, as it's expected of us, George offers an interesting retort about the ubiquitous
Is there? I gotta sit down. Has there? Listen, like, don't get me. I'm glad you guys are kind of on the same page as me because I always feel a bit mean doing this. But whenever like the video essay man feels the need to like delve into history, I don't think. Well, I was gonna say I don't think there's a single time. Like very, very, very rarely does it make me go, ah, ooh, interesting. Like sometimes it can work. I don't believe that it can never work. Absolutely, it can work. I think for an analysis of a racist Mario where like you admitted you're just being a hater, which is fine. I'm just like, did you really have to mention Art Lady? I forgot what her name is. My disrespects to her. But this lovely woman here and Mr. Carlin, did that really? Was it necessary? That's what I'd ask you. Was it necessary? You know, was it necessary? It's an attempt to sound smart in a Matthew Smart kind of way. It's like, don't get me wrong. Like, listen, I will never. Can you name one woman? Listen, I'll come back to that question later. Okay, my mum. There we go. what's it? How was I going to phrase this? Fuck, I forgot my train of thought. But yeah, there's very rarely instances where I'm like, oh, this is so cool, but continue.
George accomplished in his career was examining our every retort about the ubiquitous phrase, what if a nice day is a scarce commodity? What if it's more of a condescending phrase? Or what if it was an insistent demand?
Some of them are really insistent. I said, have a nice day! All right, goddammit, all right, I'll give it a shot. That's the trouble with have a nice day. It puts all the pressure on you. Now you've got to go out and somehow manage to have a good time.
George goes further with painting the word nice as a flat and dull word.
I know what it is that bothers me.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and can I do a little bit of skippery pokery, please? Thank you. I love how, guys, it's not just me, chat. Look at the time bar. Look at the time bar. Where is it? Right here, right there. There's like a hill here. If you guys don't know, the hills mean this is bits that people clicked on, which meant that this bit here was like a bit where people skipped ahead. A notable amount of people skipped ahead. That's what that meant. And that's exactly what I'm going to do as well, bro. I'll be honest.
Brain activating. Meanwhile, Racist Mario says nothing and is extremely proud of it.
Wait, Racist Mario? Was that Charlottesville? What the hell? Oh my god. That's insane.
At least with other notable video game parodies, they highlight the absurdism of situations in games in an interesting way. The reason Metal Gear Awesome is so beloved is because Metal Gear Solid is actually that absurd and weird. The writing of that video just
where was he on January 6th?
That plot as a
Good
funny
lord.
animation on the internet says something about the game and its audience.
The normal response I'll get to this criticism is this. Racist Mario doesn't need to say anything. It's provoking you to make this criticism, which might be its point entirely. It's literally about nothing. It's harmless, dumb entertainment. This is just
Which surely, hang on, I'll let you finish your point.
dismissing the fact that even the lowest forms of entertainment can have value hidden deep within it.
No, it's true, but sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they just... Sometimes they... How many... Is there like a... I feel like somebody could make like a playlist of Sir Moresty videos, or like the videos on the second channel, where it's titled Times Where the Creator Overthunk Something, where the simple answer is just... It just is. Like, what was it? That, admittedly, that good video essay by, what was it, Aurum Alex, when he said, does he want the next 3D Mario to be like Bowser's Fury, right? Which is a very good video overall. But I think he just downplayed the absolute fun that is, I get to go there now, and that's kind of it. You know, he was just like, where's the fun in this? It really tones down the game. No. I like the fact that I can ride Plessy, and I can just go over there. It's very, very simple. That's like the number one point of Bowser's Fury that I absolutely adore, and so do so many people. That's what everyone really loves, the open world aspect of it. It really is that simple. But he was like going into like the weeds of it, and I'm just like, no. It's that simple. I promise you, it's that simple. So that's the same with it. It's like, no, it's just it's very simple. That's the whole point. It was just made to be absurdist, and that's kind of it. Can it have an alternate message, absurdist, lowbrow humor? Absolutely. This one doesn't. This one is just trying to be absurdist. You have a reaction like this, and you move on. You know, that's kind of it. Sometimes it's just funny to be funny. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, the best kinds of art do have like hidden meanings and subtext and like interpretations. Yeah, I don't think Racist Mario is trying to be that. Even you admit it's not trying to be that. So I say again, what was the point of this video? Because like the beginning kind of implied that you take this in a different direction, you know, like you were like you made this skit about how like you put it in the ring. I thought you were just gonna be its number one hater. To which I would have went, oh yeah, cook them, farm them, clip them up. But like instead you've done the like intellectual, boring video essay thing, and I'm just like, all of this for Racist Mario? like I'm more upset at you for putting the effort into this on Racist Mario. Like, they probably put less effort in the animation than you did on this video. And I'll be real with you, brother, honestly. Oh, man. Either way, let's continue.
Any value we can get from Racist Mario comes from outside of it. It's not like it's a bad movie where we can learn from it and do better. Everything in the genre has already been done better anyways. So the next question I would inevitably get asked is, why does this matter anyway?
True! Okay, hang on. He might be able to save the video. Unironically, he might be able to save the video. Can he convince us that this is something to care about? Come on.
Well...
It's Rainbow Road.
Racist Mario's influence. Okay. This is interesting. Because while you have to be able to prove to me to a reasonable extent, I'm not not that harsh. I don't think you have to prove it to me like perfectly. I think you have to prove to me to a reasonable amount that Racist Mario influenced animation the same way, say, AVGN inspired modern day comedy-based reviewers, you know? Because like you can trace back almost every like modern day comedy like style reviewer to like the AVGN, you know? I mean, like, could you do the same for Racist Mario? Let's find out.
Excuse the extreme hyperbole for a moment, but I feel like
Extreme hyperbole! Right off the rip. Right off the rip, he admitted it was hyperbole. So what's the point? You just undersold yourself immediately, lads. Oh!
Racist Mario was the true death knell for video game parody animation.
Is it?
The genre had already crapped itself, but Racist Mario was the grave digger violating its corpse. The obnoxious, lowbrow, gross-out humor pervaded this microgenre until post-irony became mainstream in meme culture. We only started reflecting on the quality of video game parodies a few years ago. The reason I have to address the influence of this video is because of just how insanely popular it is. It's
okay, but like, that can't be the only reason why you mention this influence. There's no way that's it. Like, can you show me like other animations that like are of this ilk or that are very clearly inspired that also got like tens of millions or just like millions of views, not even necessarily tens of millions? Can you? That's what I'm looking for. Like, you cannot just be like, it has large number, therefore. That is insane, brother. Gangnam Style got like billions of views. Did it influence the modern K-pop scene? I don't fucking know. Probably not. What are we doing here, lads? Brother, man.
The most viewed pieces of animation on the platform. It has 150 million
Yeah, okay, number
views.
big. How did it influence other people?
Half of the population of the United States.
The big number big? Ain't no way, brother, man.
Half of the population of the United States.
No way! He said it again! He said it twice, therefore it must be correct. Can we get a double vine boom? Boom! Boom! God damn!
Potentially. I'm better than them, and you might be better than them too.
Well, I'm better. You're right, I am better than them.
People
because you're all Americans and you suck!
Liking it, criticizing. My God! Like, we're just better morally, just inherently. Like, I'm more attractive than 150 million people.
Real.
I mean, that's a big accomplishment.
And that doesn't even account for the videos of people reacting to it, which almost adds up to 200 million views if we wanted to include that in as well. There are people who...
Yeah, why we shouldn't commit suicide. Donkey Kong and the Myth of Sisyphus. Very clearly inspired. Oh, man.
Consider this a classic or a masterpiece on the internet. There are Zoomers who are nostalgic for something like this.
What people may not consider when talking about this video's influence is just how it paints the Newgrounds generation of creators in a negative light. While our perception...
Would you say a negative light? I don't know, actually. I mean, Zoomers, I'd have to ask you. Does it paint the Newgrounds style of like animation, like that era of animation, in a bad light? I would say, while it isn't the best representative, I would say it does a good job, at least of its humor, of like representing it decently well. Like, I feel like I feel like Racist Mario is like the Gusty Garden of Newgrounds animations. Are there better ones that represent it better? Like, you know, the good eggs of the awesome series? Yes, but I think it does a decent job at being our rep, you know? Racist Mario saved my marriage. I'm glad to hear. I'm so glad to hear. Replace pinned message.
Perception of things change over time. This video sort of acts like an unintentional parody of all the early and late 2000s video game parodies.
Mario as a psychopath has been done hundreds, if not thousands of times already.
Yeah.
It's not even the best one. Hell, the best one is basically from Dorkly, which is saying a lot. To add fuel to this dumpster fire, this video was beaten like a dead horse in the reaction video realm. You know, that dark, smelly, and gross part of YouTube where automatons do a
Whoa! He's talking about us, chat! What the... Whoa! Hang on! Hold up, say that again!
Impression of being... You know, that dark, smelly, and gross part of YouTube where automatons do a bad impression of being outraged or excited. And that's exactly the reason why it was so popular with all these React channels.
What the hell? Friendly fire will not be tolerated! Why did you say fuck me for? What the hell? What? That's unreal. Are you being racist towards reaction YouTubers? Listen, I like to think I do a good... I like to think it ain't much, but it's honest work, you know? I like to think I do a decent job here. I like to think I add my 2 cents, I add my analysis, I read Super Chat and eat hot chip and tell the truth. I'm just doing my bit. Look, you see, look at this. Look at all these people that you've insulted. You guys are they're molding at you, Mr. Blizzard. All of us. What have we done to you? I am but a humble streamer who just wants to watch stuff and add my own 2 cents. That's all I want to do. I can't believe this. I've never been more upset. Look how upset you made Melted Valdor. Like, easily like a top 100 Musquire, all right? Maybe even a top 2,000. I don't know. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
It was only meant to provoke the easiest response out of people. And therein lies the main issue. The success of Racist Mario gave a confirmation bias to crap like Dorkly and other low-effort trite to follow. While Dorkly was already doing video game parodies before this, at least they were stylistically interesting and had some decent jokes in the early years. You can argue that Racist Mario just painted the YouTube animation community poorly in general. There were many other unique and interesting animated videos on the platform at the time, and this was just one to pop off.
Yeah, but like, again, I think you've done a very extremely poor job of showcasing me that it had like a lot of influence. Yeah, it had a lot of people reacting to it, and I think if anything, that's kind of the point. Like the shock value is its greatest value. Is that literally Mario fucking gets Sonic, grabs Sonic's head and shoves him into a fucking like anti-grav panel and like disperses all his rings. That's insane, brother. If anything, they wanted that kind of reaction. So like, I don't know what I want to tell you. I hate the Dorkly, therefore point man. Like what I don't know what point you're trying to make. I don't know. I don't think anyone saw Racist Mario for all YouTube animations like this. I can get what he means when he says that because this is the biggest video that kind of harkens back to that era, it's like a de facto ambassador for that era. I can definitely understand that sort of argumentation. But what he has to prove is that it had like a lasting influence. With AVGN, you can very clearly a timeline and influence, right? AVGN influenced JonTron, right? Who took his like kind of like skitty style, but like kind of like refined it more. And then who referred like with Peanut Butter Gamer, like the first wave of like those sorts of like YouTubers, you know, like your Peanut Butter Gamers, your Nathaniel Bandys, your JonTrons, and then you've got the people that were inspired by those lots. So like you can very clearly like find a trend. Does that make sense? Of like people that link back to the AVGN. I would have liked if maybe you did some sort of like showed me that like there were other like animators that were like up and coming, maybe that like were very clearly taking inspiration by this style. But like it's just number big, people reacted to it, therefore. I can't say I agree. I'm gonna be honest, I can't say I agree, and I think this video has been a poor showing, Mr. Blue Shades. If anything, I'm throwing shade at how bad this video was.
Regardless of this long, pedantic, pretentious, boring, stupid, gay, and useless video you just watched, I'll probably never.
Hang on. Also, can I point out mod abuse? A message deleted by Alfonso. I'm on the right side of Alfonso. Dorkly is ass. You timed him out for having an opinion different than yours, Alfonso. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, CJ. I appreciate it, man. Bro thinks what XQC and Asmon got. I know, right? Unbelievable. I'll mod you, G, man. Don't worry, I got you covered.
As successful as Flash gets, let alone Racist Mario. That video has probably earned my entire year's salary a few times over by now. And success in our society
jealous of the money.
is measured by action. So save your comments. I'll just kill myself now.
I would admit, the video's been kind of funny. I've liked the humor that you've injected. It's made me laugh. I will give you that. I just think the whole premise of this video is kind of naff. I'll be real.
Regardless of that, criticism itself is an art form. Like animation, it's about stretching your imagination to make ideas manifest, using your perception to call attention to aspects of something people may have not seen before. As useless as it seems to overanalyze Racist Mario, you probably got something out of this video. Maybe it was about amateurism or situational humor through the lens of George Carlin or Maya Deeren.
No, I didn't get any of that. I just got that you're a baby-ass little baby, am I right? Way!
Without Racist Mario, I wouldn't have made this video, so I guess I have to thank Flash Gets for it anyway. So, thanks, and I hope you guys are doing well.
What the hell? Why'd you flash him at the end there? What the heck? Listen, your video made me laugh. I'll give you that. You are decently funny, Mr. Blue Shade. So your humor's on point. The video topic, less so. I'll say less so. Overall, though, I think I enjoyed my stay for free. I know, right? For free. Overall, I'll give you a round of applause. Do we do it, gamers? Gamers, put on your night vision goggles. Bravo 6. We're going dark. What do people have to say about this? A lot of dislikes. So let's see what the people had to say. To be fair, if it wasn't for blue shades, you wouldn't have reacted to this video. I would say thank you to him, but he was racist to me. Ironic, right, chat? Ironic that the guy who made a video on racist Mario was racist to us. Unbelievable, right, chat? Unfucking-lievable. All of you guys. I don't know if Odyssey Central's still chilling, but like, you as well, Odyssey Central. That should be your next video. Alright, let's go to the comments. Let's see. Let's have a look. There was once 3 genres of video game parody. What if Mario is small? What if true. It literally was just all these. I'm gonna be honest. It was all these. It was all these. Pretty sure Robot Chicken was doing edgy Super Mario's gag before YouTube was a thing. Yeah, literally true. It's an old joke. It's old. It's just how it is. I find it funny how the thumbnail changed each time, each version showing different version of Peach. Oh yeah, also they had to censor Peach in the thumbnail because it got demonetized. So they put her in a burqa. which is pretty funny. It was pretty funny, I'll give it that. This explains why Terminal Montage of Sonic 2 video, there were people commenting how good it was to see a parody which Sonic wasn't abusive to Tails or vice versa. That was quite nice. I guess people have evolved their parodies. What if Mario was a communist? Arr. Racist Mario feels like every bad early Dorkly bit combined into one. It's fun, come on, it's fun. Where's your joy and whimsy, okay? Where's your joy and whimsy? It was funny. It was funny. I feel like this video came out and then I never saw another video like this again. True. Honestly. Because like, I've not seen a Mario parody in a long time. I've not. What if Mario was freaky? Hey, yo. Hey, yo, Peach, let me see that Peach, am I right? Hey, yo. Hey, Rosalina. Yeah. Hey, yo, Bowser. Yeah. Yeah. Racist Mario feels like vulgar and gross and crass for the sake of itself. Like, let's take this child-friendly property and let's make it just because. Yeah, it isn't trying anything to make a point. It's just intended to shock and make you laugh for a second. Yeah. I would say it did its job in that regard. Updo. What if Mario was smelly? P.U. Am I right? Mario. Where's my foghorn? P.U. Am I right? Disgusting, Mario. Well, what if Mario was French? Oh, fully the français. I think I can see the argument of the video having a negative impact on YouTube animations, considering what was the last animated skit vids to blow up. No, listen, I agree with that thesis statement. Thesis statement. Look at me. I sound like a video essayist now. I agree with that thesis statement. But I think you had to do a better job proving it to me then. Video had a big number. Lots of people reacted to it. You know? What if Mario was Somalian or Walalo? My fiance. My brother. My brother. Kind of Mario. Cheerful. Fan of Mario. That's just how it is. And to be fair, a lot of video developers, movie studios are doing that to child cartoon characters because domains becoming available. Yeah, it's just how it is. Well, I think it's just there's something interesting about taking what is something that's quite like family friendly and just seeing the non-family friendly side of it. I think that's just kind of interesting. I think if anything, that's how like adult animation came to be, because like animation was like almost exclusively the realm of children, right? And then adult animation was like, what if we had a character that looked like a cartoon but he did a swore, you know? Interesting. What if Mario was work? What if Mario just woke? Hey, we need to close the gender pay gap. Women are being paid 88 cents for every dollar a man makes. Mamma mia! I put racist Mario into the category of things you thought was peak fiction as a kid to only find obnoxious when it's older. No, you need to change this. You need to change this. Things you thought was peak as a kid, obnoxious when you're a teenager, but then when you're an adult, you wrap around to it being kind of funny again. Because yeah, I just find it funny, and now like of its era it is, you know? I'm glad that fan animation as a whole has kind of moved on from this era, so it's kind of fun to look back on, you know? That's what I'd say. Let's scroll. Let's do by new. Who's Musty if you shut up? You guys post shit like this and get mad when people are calling you snowflakes. If anything, you know what? I'm downvoting this because the video didn't even mention that like any of the like the wokey nonsense. He didn't go Mario said the N-word, Mario punched the woman. He didn't even do that. He just said I hate it. So do you know what? Fuck you. Fuck it. In fact, I went into this video expecting it was going to be utter woke nonsense, but it actually wasn't. It was decently made. I just disagree with the notion as a whole. So dislike, and unsubscribe. I do like that Mario isn't even racist in the video. No, that's the. That's the... Can someone explain to Shady Moresty that that was the... That was the... Let's move on. You and these other YouTube video essay writers trying to find meaning in literally everything. Even in a video titled Racist Mario. It's not gonna be a Grammy Award winning Mr. Enter praised Vince is a genius animation. True. Look, I guess I'm in the minority here, join the club. But this is a weird hill to die on. As pointed out maybe in the comment, this was pretty much every parody animation at the time. True. I never watched Racist Mario, so I don't have nostalgia for it, but I definitely don't think it's anywhere. I get animation subjective, but how is any of those examples more soulful animation anywhere better than Racist Mario? I think that, if anything, I disagree with this. I think he did a good job showing that other YouTube animators of their era, their best asset was their amateurishness, which is something that Flash Kids doesn't have. To which I would say, I actually agree with that point. I just don't think it really matters too much, to be honest, if I'm being honest. I just don't really care too much. Also, this dude sounds pretentious. No, I think he did a good job being self-aware. I think he definitely sounded pretentious when he went George Carlin or whoever that was, and lovely amateurish woman lady. I think when he went into video essay mode, it was definitely pretentious, but I think the video as a whole was fine. It's not the most pretentious video we've watched. I don't think Alex Yard can be topped, if I'm being honest. Go outside. Guys, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, chat. I can't wait till I start getting YouTube comments like this. I can't wait. I can't wait till I'm like, I go from underrated gem to overrated flop, and I see comments like this. You know, you suck. Enter Squidward profile picture, first name, last name. I can't wait, chat. I can't wait. I really can't. That's how I know I've like hit the mainstream. You know, that's how I know I've hit true gamerdom. Thank you so much. Just because you say your video pretentious doesn't excuse the fact that it's pretentious. That is true. That is true. Self-deprecation to avoid criticism. I don't like it neither. I don't like what they did to Sonic. Oh, what? That's gore of your comfort character? Yeah? What's the worst comment you've had? I think the guy who called me a monkey like 3 days ago. I think that's up there. I think the guy that threw racial abuse at me was definitely up there. Especially considering his name was Muhammad as well. I'm like, aren't you a brother as well? What the hell? Friendly fire much? Oh. Anyway, decent video. I think the humor was on point. The points at hand, less so. But so Blue Shades, I give you a passing score, but still see me after class, young man. See me after class. And we'll leave that there.